Hello, welcome to PvP. Today, Dan plays Evolve. We were lucky enough to get some of the big alpha codes from the lovely guys at 2K. So, although I put about 6 hours of this, 6 hours of gameplay into this at the moment, I thought I'd do a video just before the alpha actually ends. This is my class of choice. This is Hank. He's the support chap. As you can see, I'm already level 16 because I've kicked a lot of ass on this already. And basically, the support role, he's the guy who's going to call in orbital bombardments and use a shield gun to protect fellow teammates. And this is actually, it's quite good for team play because you don't really have the ability to do anything on your own other than your specific role. So there's 4 classes. There's a trapper, which, as the name would suggest, you trap the monster, you try and keep it within a certain area. The Assault, who's the big guy with the electric sort of Tesla coils on his back, he's the one who's going to deal the most damage. He's the most offensive towards the monster. You've got the Medic, again, as the name would suggest, heals everyone up and can fire a tranquilizer dart at the monster to help slow it down a bit. Then you've got Support, who just basically buffs everyone up and can call in long distance strikes. As you can see graphically, it's really quite nice looking. As this is just an alpha, we haven't got too much to go on. But the maps seem... It's fairly small, but there's multiple levels to it. But it's mainly about the tracking, so you are sort of going around in circles for quite a while, following the old monster around. But you are looking for certain things. So over there, like for example, say we've got monster scared bird, so we're going after that, and there is a hell of a lot of wildlife. Now most of it's fairly sort of passive and won't really do too much to you, but if you piss most of it off, it will come after you in one way or another, usually quite violently. And there's things like carnivorous plants, which are really annoying, because if you get stuck in one of those, you can't get yourself out of it. You've got to have one of your teammates come and do it for you. So there's a lot of things other than the actual monster itself that will try and kill you. Luckily not team players though, which is a fucking good thing. But I would like to see some additional game modes, maybe like a team mode thing where 2 teams go off against 2 monsters, but they can also kill each other. Something like that would be quite nice to see, but there hasn't been too much in the way of announcements of other game modes and other monsters and stuff like that. So there's a Goliath, which I believe is the one we're after in this map, and then there's this other thing called a Kraken, which kind of looks a bit like Cthulhu, which is quite terrifying. But he can like fly, and he's got like electric shit that he can shoot out. So it's a bit of a badass. Whereas this one is more sort of like heavily armoured, and it's just sort of like a general beast that you just sort of try and catch before so he's a bit more slow and lumbering, but he takes a lot more damage. But it looks like we've already got a good look at him, so he should be around here somewhere. So these markers are actually incredibly useful. You just right clicking, if you're using a gamepad as I am, you just set a marker on the map, and that basically points out to the rest of your team as to whether there's either somewhere to go, or as you might have seen from the red ones, that means that someone's actually clicked on the monster, which means that the monster's around somewhere. Now Daisy, who's this little dog thing here, which is called Trapjaw, is like a tracking dog thing. So if you get a bit lost and a bit screwed and you don't really know where you're going, just follow that and it will usually take you in the right direction. But the monsters are actually pretty fast, which means you've got to keep up, and you've got to stick together as a team. Obviously everyone's trying to buff everyone else, and you really can't do anything against the monster from just on your own. You need everyone and their abilities there with you. So it really does promote good team play, which is a nice treat, rather than something like Battlefield, where people can just sort of wander off and do their own thing and usually do better than the team will. But in this instance, everyone seems to be a bit lost. Now, as you can see there, that big creature that's been killed there, there's like, with these big creatures, some of them are elite ones, and you can kill them and you can take a perk from them. So things like a decrease on the amount of fuel that you get in your jetpack, which is really useful for sort of getting across cliffs and things like that. And then there's like extra damage or receive less damage, all that kind of stuff. So if you're fairly close to the monster and it's worth taking one down, or if you're a teammate down or something, it's usually worth chasing after them just to see if you can get a bit of a buff. But at the moment we seem to be on a bit of a shitty time with this monster. We don't seem to be on it too well, which is a bit annoying. But we'll grab a buff from this thing and see what we get. So bullets poison the monster. Excellent, so we get lasting damage. Now, the overall goal of the hunt, which is the map type that we're on at the moment, is that the monster's got to stay out of the way until it evolves, as the name of the game is, obviously. to stage 3, in which case it's going to be then big and bad enough in order to be able to take out the reactor, which is this building here. So there's a big reactor core in there, so we've got to protect it. But obviously, the more it evolves, the higher the stage, the tougher it gets, and it takes a lot more to actually kill it. Now, I had a few good rounds. I actually went up about 5 levels in one round, mainly for the orbital bombardments, but it's mainly for the fact of the shield. I was doing my job properly, protecting everyone, so as soon as the monster turned to them, you put the shield on them, and they're invulnerable while that shield's on. But there's no ammo, which is a good thing. Oh shit, there it is. Right, so we've actually finally got a look at him. So we'll drop some tags over there just so everyone knows that they're going in the right way. Now the trapper drops down that big sort of shield, and that basically traps it within the area, so it can't leave, which gives you the chance to pound as much shit as you possibly can into it. But it needs to be within the radius, otherwise it will just walk away like it's just done. So it's a good sign though, it means that we are fairly close to it. Except that we need to get either some tranquilizers into it to slow it down, or we need to get one of those big bubble shield things on it to keep it in the area. And then the assault guys get this really cool like lightning gun, and that does just massive damage to it. So someone's got a tracer dart into it, so we can see it over there in yellow. So if I'm going to try and get above it and drop an orbital bombardment on it, but I'm not entirely sure where it's gone. It's just sort of disappeared from me. Oh, right, so he's down here somewhere. But I've also got a cloak shield as well, so I can make myself invisible, but anyone that's within my sort of radius as well will also become invisible, which, for a game that's, about hunting and stuff, you tend not really to do. It's just sort of charge in or guns blazing. But there is the option to sort of do it stealthily and follow it, but you've kind of got a time limit, as you can see from the top right corner, before it evolves to the next stage, so you really need to take it out when it's in stage 1, or at least do a hell of a lot of damage to it, because that will make life easier if it gets to stage 2 or 3, because the armour that it's got does take a bit of getting through. So although we didn't catch up with it as quickly as I usually would have liked to have done, the team I'm with, they do seem to be on the trail, which is a good thing. Although it's big and scary looking, it's not actually. Fucking hell, although it started on me. Piss off. That's not the monster. So there are a lot of sort of big things that will just kill you if they get the chance. So you've got to learn quite early on to distinguish between the two, which, if you sort of, because you really sort of get thrown into this without much, sort of tutorial, or assistance or anything like that. It takes a little bit of getting used to make sure you don't shoot at absolutely everything, because everything's trying to kill you and everything's big and terrifying. But you can usually sort of differentiate between them, because this will be making sort of erratic movements or swinging its big old arms. It's got like a trail behind its arms, so it's usually fairly simple to spot when you know what you're looking for. Oh shit. Right, so he's level 2 now, although we've got him in a cage, which is good, because it means that we might have him whilst he's evolving. There he is, and I'm going to drop an orbital bomb on him. Oh, there we go. So he's just nipped around the corner here and cloak everyone up, and I'm going to get a shield on the assault guy down there so he can be invulnerable while he takes it out. Shit. Although I'm lagging a bit behind. There we go. So although you can get knockback damage with the shield is on, it will help protect against any sort of physical damage and stuff. So it's pretty useful, but there is a cooldown, and it is like on a charge as well, so you can't just keep it on indefinitely. So you've got to time it right for strikes and things like that, just to make sure just before you attack someone, you've got them protected. But it means that if you're doing your job well, you're keeping all your teammates covered. You're the only person that's not covered by it. So you've got to try and... Oh shit, so I'm down. So he's set me on fire. Shit. So the arena's gone, so he's basically going to fuck off now. Although the little dog thing's got me, which is quite nice. I'm lagging a bit behind. Speaking of lag, there has actually been a few issues with lag. I think it is mainly just people's internet connections, so it's been fucking everybody else over. But a few people have been moaning about things like matchmaking, it's taking too long and you can't join with friends and all that sort of stuff. And it's, at the end of the day, it's an alpha. You've got to give it that. It's not going to be the finished product. It's, they have to put disclaimers at the start so people don't come to them and moan and say, oh, I've been trying for 20 minutes and I can't connect to a fucking game. Well, it's just like, well, you know what? you're getting it for free anyway. So stop your fucking moaning. It really, I don't know how they feel about it, but it fucking winds me up anyway. Christ, I am so far behind here. So because already the monster's got such a head start on us, the odds of us actually catching it and killing it, although we've got quite a bit of life off it, it's still quite slim. Although I can see fire over there, which means that we may very well have caught up with it again. Oh, here we go. There he is. Right, dropping the bomb in. Try and cover some people. Oh shit, I'm in the fucking water. Not a good place to be. There's big fucking like rhino crocodile things that try and kill people. Shit, the assault goes down. That's not good. So I'm going to cloak up. Try and cover some people. Although this is not going to be going well at all. So I'm going to cover my medic, I think that is, as best I can. So now we've got a 2-minute cooldown waiting for the shit. I don't know where the fucking medic's gone, but she's out of range. Christ, which is not good. So all I can do at the moment is just try and scare it off and try and revive my guy. Yeah, that's probably not going to go so well. So yeah, I'm down as well. This did not go as well as planned. Although the little dog thing can revive me, so the monster needs to take that out as well to win, which is exactly what he's just done. So not the best fucking example of how good I was and how the fact I got to level 16. But let's see what else I got, if I got anything at all. No. So I did the small amount of damage with that. Pretty fucking awful performance by me overall. Oh well. But we'll try one more. So I'll spare you the load times and everything because it's a little bit long. So we shall come back to this in a second. Okay, we're back. We're ready for the next drop into the dam. So there's only 2 maps on this. There's the 4 classes, but there's only 2 characters for each one. I've got a different character for the support class called Bucket, which is like this robot. He's got like a UAV drone and sentry drones. And he's still got the same cloaking field, but it just means that you lose the shield gun, which is, to be honest, quite an important weapon really, because it keeps everybody covered. But the sentinel sort of sentry drone things that you can put down are incredibly useful because they just absolutely leather the monster with fire. So you've got to put them down in the right area, but it's doing that to at the sacrifice of being able to protect the teammates. Now we don't have any tracks at the moment, and also the dog thing doesn't seem to know where the hell we're going either. So at the moment we're just a bit fucking stuck. So fuck it, we'll just sort of head off. Now one of the tips that it does come up with, it says that one of the best action plans to do is to split into pairs, so you can find it faster, but when you do find it, you're not on your own, which is kind of a good point, I suppose. But if it gets a bit of time to himself, that means he will sort of slow down and start to feed, which is what he needs to do to actually evolve. Which means it can give you an advantage if you sort of give him a bit of time to himself. But I'm kind of stick to the right hand side, so if he's heading up this way, oh shit, someone's caught in a plant or something, or caught in an animal. Oh shit, it's that fucking thing there. Get rid of that. So yeah, like I say, the fucking wildlife is just as dangerous as anything else. But we still don't know. For fuck's sake, why are these people dealing with these animals? Just leave them alone. Christ. We've got bigger fucking fish to fry. Right. Can we get back to the fucking monster, please? Is that too much to ask? For fuck's sake. Right. But unfortunately, we still don't have any tracks. Which means that he's just got way more time than we should be allowing him to find, sort of bits, things to eat. Just find a nice spot to, because basically when you evolve as a monster, you've got sort of, you're quite vulnerable for about 30 seconds or so while you evolve into the next stage. So you've got to kind of get free and get to an area where you'll be isolated, so they can't just sort of jump you when you're vulnerable. So if we're lucky, we might be able to time it well enough to find that. But the whole sort of outcome that this could really go does depend on your team and how sort of effective they are working and tracking and stuff. And at the moment, we haven't really got anywhere. So although we know that the monster's roughly in this area, we are still quite far behind it. So finding it and stopping it is going to be a bit of a bastard, because basically every minute that you leave it, the more stronger and the further away he's going to get, which does not make our job any easier. But at the moment, I think we all seem to be in the dark as to where the hell this thing is. So he's done a hell of a job of keeping out of the way, which is fucking quite nerving, because I don't think I've actually gone this long without at least knowing where the fuck it is, which is quite worrying. Which means that he's going to get to stage 2 in the next minute or so, and we don't know where the fuck he is. Oh Christ. So people are kind of following where I'm going, but when you're all in the same position, you don't really know where you're going. He's crouching, sneaky fucker. Well, if you know that he's crouching, why are you just attacking random wildlife? Right, so if we know that he's crouching, which means that he's sort of staying off the radar, which is fine, or, I don't know if you can sort of crouch and sneak, then why the fuck didn't he tag him? Oh, Jesus. We killed... What? Oh, he disconnected. Oh, brilliant. Fuck. Well, there you go. If someone leaves, they're just a big shitlord. But I suppose we'll just leave it there. You kind of get the idea as to what it is. But when you get... as and when you do get a couple of mates actually on to play with you, it is a lot of fun. So it's definitely going to be... Maybe not a pre-order, but certainly it will be on the list to purchase as and when it's available. So keep an eye out for it. It's made by the guys who made Left 4 Dead, so if you like sort of team play, working together, communicating with your own friends, definitely right up your street. Especially with the evolving, and I reckon there's going to be like customization options and stuff like that. Make your own character your own, develop your own style of gameplay. It's going to be great. So this is Evolve. Excellent game. Keep an eye out for it. Thanks very much.